few seconds myself because when I did a test last night, there was a sizable delay.
Oh, gotcha. Oh,
But
I had.
I see us. We are live on the Twitch. Hello, Twitchy Twitchers.
Yeah, I saw us for a second, and then it stopped loading for me. Load, load, darn you! There it goes. Okay, and now I will mute it. Okay.
Ah, marvelous.
Oh, now it's on YouTube. That's why I'm like, but I muted it. Oh no, the YouTube is talking. Quiet, YouTube. Okay. I mean, as much as it is nice to have you in surround sound, I got to be able to figure out what you're actually saying.
Yes, my ego is everywhere. That's basically my modus operandi these days. And well, let's make it official. Hello, everyone on both Twitch and YouTube. Yes, we are back at full force. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And thank you. I hope you all have had a wonderful week and are doing well this Friday, possibly Saturday. And with me tonight is a dear and wonderful friend. I have Sweetie Bloom.
You probably recognize me from being a mod in the chat most of the time.
Oh, I think they recognize you from more than that.
Depends on the viewer.
Depends on the viewer, she says. Come on, you're the demo, the blue team demo, and Sailor Moon fan aficionado.
And that too.
Darn straight. So
I see everybody saying hello. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Let's see. I want to make sure I say hello to some faithful viewers. Of course, Trinary, good to see you. Kelvin Shadewing, also good to see you. Oh, Mean Pony saying it's morning here. Which sorry, Mean Pony, I don't know where here is. Let's see here. I know I saw Komodo Steel earlier. He's excellent. And, well, a grand greeting to everybody. I'm so pleased that my fix got me back on YouTube so I can actually talk with people and stream proper like. Oh, and to Pig Boss 99, who was also kind enough to be a part of a hanging out stream last Saturday with our friends Crid's Blessings and Lightning Blissyboo. Now, I feel the need to catch our YouTubers up. For the past 2 weeks when I was having difficulties, I still did some artwork on Twitch where I was working on recreating this here studio and taking some elements of Pharynx, trying to do his best Soren impersonation for Rogue Palette, who I will be adding a bit more life to this pose. This is just a baseline right now. But things are progressing along, and if I can work efficiently or at least meet my goals, I'll get to show you all a funny little trick. One that I hope will bring some enjoyment to all. While answering questions and getting to talk with my friend. So, sweetie, how have you been?
I've been all right. Things are crazy at work, like you do. But I guess I'm lucky to have work, so can't complain too much.
I think you're entitled. Just because you're grateful for what you have doesn't mean you can't voice frustration every now and again. And again. And in my case...
Yeah, I know. Again.
In my case...
No, I complain a lot, don't you lie.
Well, as do I. Again and again and again and again and again and again. Whoop.
I lost you for a second there.
Yes, I heard the losing notification. But you can hear...
Yeah, that was weird.
But can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yay. Oh, Mean Pony is in Indonesia. Oh. I'm always kind of stunned when I learn I'm being watched by people that far away. I always, I'm a schmuck on YouTube. I kind of figure it's American, Canadian, and maybe English, but I'm always grateful to hear that people around the world are enjoying this. Or at the very least, I hope they're enjoying. If not, we'll work on that. The world
is watching you.
Oh, God, the pressure!
You know you love it.
Well, it is still pressure. That's when I flash back to Everfree Northwest and... oh my gosh, why am I blanking on my friends' names? I'm bad at this. So bad at this. Full Papers, there we are. Full papers. Right
Oh.
before a charity auction, we would sing Pressure. Coming down on you, coming down on me, pressure. It was how he sort of shed steam before going in front of a live event, which it folks, I am an introvert through and through. It is never easy to do such things. Make no mistake. You learn middle gears, but I will never say it gets easy. And
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
and in truth, I am suspicious of anyone who claims otherwise. It may in fact be the truth for them, but I become dubious.
I think for some people it's easier than for others because I don't know, they've got that natural inclination. Like my sister was always like that. She was the type who's like, look at me, you know. Whereas not so much on my end. You know, I had to train myself as well. So yeah, it never gets easy.
Never gets easy. Well, let's start things off with some questions. Well, I know from past experience there's one tried and true question we can immediately tackle. Have you, Lissy, have you ever watched Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends?
The infamous question. The answer being no, not really. I remember playing with the toys when I was a kid. You know, my dad and I would go to the train store and stuff like that. But I never really was big on the whole Thomas show. I was more into the train toys than the television shows.
Well, to be honest, you're the first person I've talked to whom says, you know, they play with the toys. Usually it's just, it was after my time, or, oh, I missed out, or, you know, you had the toys. In fact, I
didn't own the toys. I should asterisk on that. My parents weren't big on buying me toys, but they would, like I said, we'd go to the train store and they'd have like a train set that the kids could play with. And stuff like that. So I never owned them, but I did play with them. And then like my grandparents lived up in the Redwoods. Prayers to everyone up north right now, by the way. But they lived near the Redwoods in California, and there's this place called Roaring Camp near where they live that has a steam engine. A lot of cool things about that, but every once in a while they'd have Thomas Day, where they would dress up the steam engine to look like Thomas. You know, and the kids having fun with that. So I don't know. My dad really loved trains and he passed it on to us, but it was very confusing because he was an engineer, and it took all of my sisters had the same dilemma of realizing that he was not a train engineer, but he was an electrical engineer. We're like, but he loves trains. It's like, nope, wrong one. Oh.
Also, let's see here. I need to give a welcome to a new follower, Crystal Dawn 001, and Mean Pony. Thank you both for following.
Mean
Pony from Indonesia. Again, I'm humbled. Now, I'm curious though, dressing up a train to look like Thomas, like, did they put a big face on the front?
Face on it, yep.
Was it creepy?
To the adults, yes. To the children, oh my gosh, it's Thomas. Okay.
See, maybe I'm showing some cynicism here. I've always kind of found that the trains with the faces just a little unnerving. Maybe it's an uncanny valley.
I sort of see it the same way as I see like the cars from Disney's Cars, which were also the Chevrolet cars, that type of thing. There's sometimes when you're a kid, you see certain things and you kind of put faces on them. You know, and so it's kind of like them doing that. So if you're around trains a lot and you see that front part, you do sort of kind of imagine that's the face of the train. And so they're sort of making the reality of that.
Makes sense. Although that happens with me in a lot of things. When people like Photoshop body parts to be in different places, like 2 mouths where your eyes should be, or there's that, I get really creeped out. I don't know. I guess I have a very rigid view of where parts should be.
No, I can see that creeps me out too. It's one of those things where and it does creep me out. You know, a lot of the Thomas stuff. Looking back, I'm like, oh, that's creepy. You know, but as a kid, I bought it hook, line, and sinker, I guess.
Well, it's all good. Thank goodness. I probably had some pretty messed up concepts growing up. Silverhawks. They swapped their body parts to become cyborgs just so they could patrol space. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah, a lot of things we took for granted as kids, so we look back and like, no, that's messed up.
It's like, wow. It's like, oh, this is why people say reviewers ruin everything, because we realize that was messed up.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. See, another question, and this one is, I wasn't entirely sure of it. Do you know about Mother Mysteries?
I do not.
Some sort of mystery show, of which I confess I don't watch a lot of mysteries.
I do.
You do?
So I have no excuses, I guess. Yeah, let's see, growing up we watched the Jeremy Brett Sherlock Holmes, Poirot, Miss Marple, Murder She Wrote, what were some of the other ones? Oh, and when CBS went on their crime spree, man, we were such CBS junkies. We'd watch like all of their crime shows. We got NCIS, we had Numbers, all that stuff. I don't know, we just watched a lot of murder mysteries growing up, which is why I'm really bad. There's sort of a mantra among my friends and family: never watch mysteries with Sweetie. And edit it for sake of YouTube. It's like, never watch mysteries with Sweetie, because I've gotten so used to, the Agatha Christie mindset that a lot of times I'll figure things out, and it annoys people.
Well, that makes sense. You've witnessed some of the twists and turns. I hesitate to say tropes because, well, trope talk.
Sometimes they are, because that was the thing. Sometimes I'd do it with my dad. Like, we'd be watching a mystery and I'd figure out who done it. And I remember one time I was like, the son did it, and sure enough, the son ended up doing. He was the one who did it. My dad goes like, "Man, you should be a detective." I'm like, no, Dad. The skills I have do not translate to real life. The reason I know the son did it is because the camera stopped on the son for 3 seconds longer than was necessary. So clearly the kid was important, thus the kid did it. It had very little to do with putting the clues together. The camera stopped on the kid when it didn't need to. QED.
That's something similar to when I was watching a show called Gogh with a friend, Japanese fantasy horror story, and the heroine of the piece is talking with this guy, and I looked at my friend and said, "Oh, he's the final villain, isn't he?" My friend blinks at me. He's like, "Why do you say that?" Because it was true. I say, with hair like that.
It's like spot the main character in a classroom full of people with normal hair.
Yeah,
one guy.
Everyone is looking like your average citizen, but this guy spends at least 2 hours on his blessed hair. Oh.
Yep.
Also, Trinary, you continue to spoil me rotten. I swear.
Yay!
I swear.
Good job, Trinary.
And Cosmo Knights has followed. Thank you for following, Cosmo Knights. Always thank you to Trinary.
Yes.
So supportive.
Yes.
And much appreciated.
I wish I had the finances.
Oh no! Quiet you. I'm still working on getting you a birthday gift.
No.
Yes.
Stop it.
Yes.
No.
I'm not stopping.
Make him stop, guys.
They can't make me.
Sure they can. Okay. Everybody needs to tell Silver to spend his money on himself. Trinary, help me out here.
All right, and I need all of you in the chat to say happy birthday, sweetie, accept your gift.
No, first of all, my birthday was like close to 2 weeks ago. Second of all, no.
One does not stop celebrating a person simply based on time.
Well, that's what birthdays are for, though. The point of a birthday is for people who are forgotten to be unforgotten for at least 24 hours.
But I disagree with that. I am celebrating my mother's birthday this Sunday, and I assure you, I have not forgotten her. Oh, no.
Oh, no, okay.
Oh.
first of all, happy birthday to Mama Quill.
Thank
but
you.
secondarily, no, I mean, it's for everybody, obviously. But the nice thing about birthdays is it gets a nice equality to it, I suppose.
Is that?
You know, everybody gets equal recognition for that one day.
But I would say that a birthday is celebrating the start of a new trip around the sun, but that doesn't mean you just stop celebrating the trip. There we go.
That's for me. Not for your mom. I understand.
Well, but I see in the chat, I see that people are saying, happy birthday, sweetie.
Yes,
happy birthday.
stop it.
Accept your
Stop
gift. Accept your gift.
Never.
Yes.
I see no accepting gifts. Everybody's just gotten very confused about when my birthday is.
You will accept your gift while
Never.
Sorena Leo follows. Thank you, Sorena Leo. I sound like I'm trying to do a chant or a prayer. Etc. Etc. Iele su domine. Dona.
Domaneis requiem.
Boom. That is one of the best Monty Python, but I can quote Holy Grail at you non-stop. Non-stop, I tells you. Let's see here. I think with this last light, I've got the studio down. I just need an easel.
Yeah.
That's no easel feet.
Uh-huh.
Now, an earlier question from Mr. Joe Mule. Do you have a fave character in the Sailor Moon franchise?
Start with you on that one.
Sailor Mercury, hands down. I mean...
Mine's... Go ahead.
Oh, no. I will explain in due course. I want to hear yours first.
You explain yours, then I'll explain mine. Go.
All right, Corchester42, thank you for following. All right, Sailor Mercury. Some of it is, well, superficial. Blue is my favorite color. I was very quiet and shy growing up, very socially awkward. It took a long time to grow out of it. And Sailor Mercury, intelligent, gifted, but also an outsider. I just really saw a lot of my own struggles with her. And even finding she had an artistic flair, which I appreciate seeing. She also had some of the funniest moments, I think, mostly based on her awkwardness. While the others would kind of go with this bubbly energy, she was this sort of this startling reserve. It's no wonder that Fluttershy became one of my favorite ponies, as I see a lot of similar qualities between them. And yet I would not
totally see that.
I would not say, however, that they are the same archetype. Well, I've talked about Fluttershy being the Hetaira. Sailor Mercury is more of a medial.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents, but also the Sailor Moon special where Mercury, she thinks she's competing with with a genius boy for top placement in entrance exams. And the lengths she goes to, I mean, how sort of this creative energy pushes her over the edge, and everyone's a little scared of how competitive she is. One of the best Sailor Moon specials.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the one that was like associated with one of the movies, right?
Yeah, it was. I think it aired with a movie, but it was based on a manga short. Of course,
yes.
Of course, in true tradition of my favorite characters getting shafted, I always felt like Sailor Mercury didn't have as many central episodes as the others.
Yeah. In honesty, when you go to the manga, actually, a lot of the the inner senshi kind of got overlooked in a lot of ways. And in a lot of ways they didn't. I mean, Sailor Mars's role, her relationship with Usagi was very much exaggerated for the anime than it was in the manga. But her backstory glanced over. Sailor Mercury's backstory glanced over. And so there were a lot of they didn't really get to it type of characters.
Phooey, I say. But that's why I appreciate the anime, maybe even the original anime, more than Crystal.
Well, I'm hoping in the movie that's coming up Maybe maybe not, because the thing is, we learn about the backstories of each of the inner senshi in the Super S arc.
Mm-hmm.
So, in hoping that the movie that's coming out, maybe it'll touch on that. Maybe, hopefully, I doubt it, but maybe.
Oh, I look forward to it. I'm eager to find out. Believe me, there's a lot to like about Crystal and its upcoming movie. There's a lot to like about the original anime. It's not an either or. You must like one or the other. That is probably one of the worst mindsets from my Digimon days that people would fall into. Oh, Liz Dabroni following. Many thanks. But you've not yet told us your favorite Sailor Moon character.
My favorite, and it's not a favorite of many, would be Chibiusa.
Aha!
For honestly pretty similar reasons to yourself. Also, point one, favorite color, so that's a plus. But secondarily, she was kind of closer to how old I was when I was watching the show. And I have older sisters, and this especially played out more in the manga than it did in the show. But the thing about her is that she had a bit of an inferiority complex. Well, actually, not a bit of an inferiority complex, a massive inferiority complex. You know, she was around all these amazing people, and she felt like she wasn't good enough, that she needed to be better, and she was struggling. And so that, you know, that struggle of hers I very much identified with in my younger years. So, yeah.
Understandable. I know of some of the fan anger towards her character, but I never really got it.
It has more, honestly, from what I can tell, has more to do with her voice actresses. You know, in the Japanese, she had the typical cutesy, high, squeaky voice, and then when translated into English, almost every time she came off as really annoying. Rather than cutesy. You know, she was supposed to be really cute, but she came off as really annoying when translated to English, and I think that's where a lot of the hatred for her came from.
Yeah, and this was at a stage where American dubs didn't always do characters a service. That
yeah.
In fact, I remember one of the big changes that kind of startled me. First season of Sailor Moon, there is an episode where the Senshi fake feuding within. They're trying to draw out the villains. Side note: Sailor Mercury attacks Sailor Moon with a book.
Yes.
That's honestly mental warfare at its finest. But in the Japanese, Sailor Moon gives her wand and the silver crystal to Mars for safekeeping. And Mars she's how do I put this? She honors that request even though she wants nothing more than to jump in and help her friend. In the dub, they made it so that she stole the crystal. Yeah. And that she was willing to sacrifice Sailor Moon to achieve a goal. And even Sailor Moon thought, "Oh, did they really turn on me?" And then, of course, it's I guess for drama, you know, then she has a change of heart. But polar opposite relationships.
Yeah.
And I like the Japanese more because the dub made Mars sound like a jerk.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the yeah, I'm not a fan of the dub. As much as I will defend that when someone's like, "Oh, Crystal" or the original, I'm sort of like, yeah, they both have their positives and negatives, you know. But no, don't watch the dub. Don't watch the dub unless your intent is to have a good laugh, you know, and be like, "Oh my gosh, this is so ridiculous." You know, maybe you'll get that, like the infamous robot reveal.
God.
Well. Yeah, when Tuxedo Mask and Sailor Moon reveal each other's identity, and for some reason Sailor Moon's reaction is, "Oh my God, he is Tuxedo Mask. I don't believe it." I'm like, what?
Beep, beep.
What happened there? Is that the only cut that survived? Was the joke cut?
I think they were going for disbelief. Although it's funny when you say the robot reveal, I'm flashing to Voltron. We replaced the ambassador with a robot duplicate. And then blew up the robot in a ship. In the Japanese take, yeah, we kill the ambassador.
Yep.
It's like, really?
We do that.
Rock, robot rock. Also, lest I forget, Eben Sky has followed. Thank you, Eben Sky. And I guess this ties into the magical girl thing. Earlier in the chat, a person asked who would win in a fight, Silver-Quill or Bayonetta. I will tell you, with no ego and no agenda, Bayonetta would wipe the floor with me. She would tap dance on my head, and let's not forget that her boots are guns. Or are they boots, or are they high-heeled, they're like stilettos?
They're like platform something.
They're fashionable death is what they are.
Yes.
I mean, the only way I could stand even a chance against Bayonetta is if I combated her follicle-based clothing with male pattern baldness. And that should be like, yes, my one true weapon in such a battle. But let's see here. And oh my goodness, Oddball Prime is following. Thank you. Wow, I'm earning a lot of followers tonight. I'm surprised and pleased. I wonder if this is because
All the following.
I did the scheduling thing.
Maybe.
Oh, William Ganes, hello from California. Well, I lived in California for a brief time and loved it dearly. I've watched the news and just worry for the whole state. I hope everyone's doing okay.
Yeah,
But okay, I know the truth is it's 2020. We're not doing okay. We're doing the best we can.
Yeah.
But funny enough, it's okay if your okay is not great. Because again, I don't think anyone is.
Ooh, someone put a nice comment. And Enderpup says, Silver in a Bayonetta suit. I approve.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna get more. We're gonna get more cross-dressing out of this.
Yes.
Oh, I got sweet little ideas. I mean, at Chris's Hangout stream, we had Bliss is now Canadian. If she keeps working on the apology jar, and I was supposed to be like a pretty hippogriff princess.
No, it's a pretty pony. Hold on. I think I wrote it. Help me out, Chris. I know you're watching. Was that the pretty bird, princess pony, something? Those words together. Pretty pony, princess bird, or something like that.
Catton's cuteness is following. Much appreciated. And now, Enderpup, I do notice you all. It's just that there's a lot. I'm trying to do 3 things at once. I can't answer everything right away. Apologies.
I'm honestly impressed with how much you're able to do in one go.
Well, I have to disappoint Champ to stay. I have not yet gotten to see Hanazuki Full of Treasures. I have only seen Hanazuki in the opener before the MLP movie, but I haven't gotten to pursue that. Mostly because I'm behind on watching everything. He said, not trying to mention Avatar, The Last Airbender, or Hamilton, or anything like that. No.
Or Oron, or Fruits Basket. What are the several other things I've been trying to force you to watch?
Well, I need to watch Code Lyoko for a Patreon sponsor. Yep. I definitely need to catch Hamilton.
That's the answer. I need to pay you.
What? No. You put that thought right out of your head.
No. How much to get you to watch Avatar?
I will do the... Oh, yes, and Trinary. Trinary sent me The Good Place, which I need to watch too. The pain. Oh, the commitments. Entertainment used to be for funsies. Now it is a challenge.
Now it's an obligation.
Now it is a test of my resources. Actually, I'm kind of... What? Oh, I have the headless pony again. Or rather, the necklace pony. One of the things I'm looking forward to this weekend... I'm concerned this is going to sound like I don't enjoy doing Pinkie Pie Says Goodnight. I do. But I've been doing sort of the marathon run, keeping up with Pony Life, getting a new comic out every Saturday night. And those take up most of my Saturday. As I'm taking a little break from with Pony Life having run its course for the season, and giving Pinkie Pie a good night just a little bit of a break, I'm kind of looking forward to spending this Saturday as a please.
Get yourself some rest.
Get myself some rest. Yes. Yes. Yes, this is an opportunity I mustn't ignore. Oh, I see Rainbow Hooves in the chat. We got to do sort of a live recording review at BronyCon. He had a brand new camera, and I think his dad was kind enough to be the camera person, and we talked about I remember we talked about the series premiere, but I'm getting mixed up on years. But either way, it was fun to do just sort of a impromptu on the spot review. But yes, I do miss. I was grateful for BronyCon every year as a chance to connect with people. I will be grateful to see conventions back in person, hopefully next year. I don't know what the future holds in that regard. I wish I knew, but I ain't psychic.
Yeah. Also, hi to Voice.
Oh, hey, Voice. Oh, there. Yes, speaking of, basically of our circle, the question came up: How did you become the blue demo?
It did? Oh, I must have missed that question. There's a very simple answer. Dr. Wolf asked.
Oh, come on! It's more involved than that.
No, it was though. So, the whole blue team was being put together, and Dr. Wolf messages me and says, "Hey, we're doing this whole TF2 thing. Did you want to be part of the blue team?" And I was like, "Sure, I guess." And then I was like, I don't really play TF2, And he's like, "It's okay. A lot of the people don't play TF2." I'm like, "Okay."
Myself included.
And he's like, "So which?" Yeah, and he's like, "So which character do you think you would be?" I'm like, "I don't know." I'm like, when I usually play games, I like playing the healer, but I knew that Key was already the medic, so I don't know. Go back to my previous statement of I don't play TF2. So in a previous video I had with Josh and Dr. Wolf, it was a Disney related video, and I decided to be Prince Philip, and Josh Scorcher was Maleficent, so I started chasing him around with a sword. So he's like, "Well, you can be the demo, and that's the character who has a sword, so you can chase people around with a sword." And I'm like, "Okay, sure." So yeah.
And thus the Sweetie Knight was born.
Yes.
Because you've never struck me as a drinker. And not making stereotypes here. The demo man is presented as a drinker in sort of a Scottish stereotype. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so yes, there is a stereotype, but it's not mine.
Fair enough. I mean, the main thing keeping me back from being an alcoholic, I think, is income. I mean, yeah, I'm not a huge drinker. I'm a social drinker for the most part.
As am I.
But yeah. No. The reason that Dr. Wolf chose the demo for me was because I had previously been shown to run around with a sword, and so he's like, "Well, it's the class where you can run around with a sword." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, see, that's more involved than just, "Oh, he asked me." No, there was a method to the madness. An interaction born of previous interaction. A tangled web.
Yeah, so many people have stories of how they convinced Dr. Wolf to let them into it or something, and I'm like, "No, he asked me, and I said yes to as a favor to a friend." That's really the long and the short of it.
Well, I mean, come on. The whole reason I got chosen for this, I don't play TF2, is because I get beat up a lot in my videos. And what does the heavy do? He gets beat up a lot in the videos.
Apparently, episode 5 is airing on October 5th. Is it?
Oh.
I'm never really good at actually paying attention to the air dates because that's more of Dr. Wolf's thing, because on his channel. So
Yes.
like basically I would do like all the organization for. I was like, okay, we got it. All right, video's done, and then I go and I try and organize like the previous video, and then Dr. Wolf would be like, when do you think we should release this? I'm like, I don't care, Doc. I'm trying to get lines from people. You do that.
Yes. Yes. Folks may not know, but Sweet Bloom is the organizational glue for this group.
well, Well, Joey really helped when he joined. It was like I was at the beginning. I was the only one kind of keeping everything together. And then when Jasper joined our ranks, he really helped take the pressure off of me. And many thanks in that regard. So he's really keeping the team together now, especially now that I'm like focusing a lot more on my my IRL job and not so much organizing YouTube people.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Although apparently we have a correction. It is October 2nd.
Oh, my bad. Oh, that makes sense. Because the 5th is like a Monday or some nonsense. Yeah.
Also, Drinking Buddy is back.
Yay, Drinking Buddy. How much sleep have you had?
Yes, we're being very cautious about this.
Oh, yes, I've been trying to get enough sleep. Good job, Drinking Buddy. You get a gold star.
Okay, good. Good. Oh, Champ to Stay is wondering, what do we do when we're feeling, well, down? And, well, okay, that totally understand if you want to give it a pass if that's going into personal territory. I will say, when I'm feeling down, I need to make something. I need to draw, I need to sketch, I need to put some energy somewhere other than feeling down. Because, as my family puts it, commit to creativity.
That's a good phrase.
Yes, it's helped me out. And believe me, I am a person who excels at envisioning the worst case scenario, and I am a person who's very good at beating up on himself.
Yeah, I've been trying to train him out of that, guys. It's hard.
It is borderline possible. I am just the worst student ever. Oh.
Oh, stop it.
You know what would make me feel really good? See if you accepted your birthday present. Haha! I've caught.
Part of me wants to reveal like what it is so that they can understand why I'm running away. Okay, but no, I don't mind sharing it for what I do when I'm down. It sort of depends on what it is that's getting me down. Different things, have different reactions. If I'm feeling down for a certain reason, doing certain things will help me out. But honestly, you are really experiencing exhibit A of things that cheer me up. So, yeah, just being able to hang out with Silver, definitely A+ on the cheer up factor.
Yay, thank you. Yeah. But, we still war over gifts. Though it's the reverse. Yes. We have kind of this, I don't know, we have kind of this reverse competition. Who could be the more humble?
I've got years of experience, sir.
As do I. My family has the same competition. Who will argue to sit in the back seat on a family car trip?
Fair enough. Well, we never had that in our family because car arrangements were always practical. Well, because just some members of the family were taller than others, so you sat where you could fit, which unfortunately meant that at some point the middle sister was sitting in the middle seat, and she did not appreciate this.
Now, a question from Gogh91. Who are your favorite superheroes of all time?
Super Sailor Chibi Moon.
Super Sailor Chibi. Super Sailor. Now, not just regular Chibi Moon, but Super Sailor Chibi Moon. From Super S?
From Super S, yes. For two reasons. One being I just love the Super Fugus more than any other. The Eternal was just too much, too gaudy. OMG. The normal was fine, but I really like the whole butterfly motif of the Super S. Secondarily, Super S does focus a lot around her character and her character growth. So yeah, that Super S has always been my favorite arc. because it focuses on my favorite character and also ponies. It basically focuses on Sailor Chibi Moon being, well, censored, but you know.
No, I get you. It's funny, following up on that, I do feel kind of bad. One thing that the manga has that the anime did not, the Amazonas Quartet and their role as, spoiler warning, senshi themselves.
Yeah, they were basically meant to be Chibi Moon's version of the inner four senshi. Like, she had her own four senshi that served her. But yeah, that didn't come up in the anime.
Yeah. Again, okay, if the movie is going to tackle Super S, or is it Supers?
Super S.
Super S. I have to wonder if there'll be a movie that covers stars or more.
I hope so. And I really hope that Stars does Chibi Chibi more justice.
Oh, yes.
Stars the anime mess. Not that the manga was exactly very clear cut either.
Oh, the manga got weird at times.
Yeah, it got real weird.
Like what's that? It's like, what is going on now?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, things are so confusing. You know, they'll talk about something else. I'm like, man, try to be like a Mooney, and you're trying to figure out what stars is going on in that manga.
Or I'm thinking of Yu-Gi-Oh fans. Oh, don't forget season 5, where there's 3 of me running around. Even the fans have trouble with that one.
Yep. Yeah, if there's, you know how, like, in the Brony fandom, you can, like, start up a philosophical debate on, like, what is a cutie mark and stuff like that. Like, the philosophical debate that you can start up with the Sailor Moon fandom was, what/who is Chibi Chibi? And that will get a very in-depth discussion going that no one else will understand.
For to put it in pony terms, you guys remember when when they first introduced Daring Do as an actual real-life character, Twilight and Rainbow basically had an argument. No one else could understand what they were really saying.
Yes.
It's like that in real life.
Yes. Yep.
Which, okay, I teased about how I get on with it, but it's true. I've been a part of those conversations. My friends lunch into talks about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I'm like, what are they saying? I can't stand it.
Yeah, no, my poor dad has to put up with those conversations. You know, whenever he's around me and my friends will, like, talk about stuff, and he's like, I think there's English in there somewhere. You know. He's like, I wish you guys spoke English every once in a while, talking about bronies and tardises and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, we're incorrigible that way. Incorrigible, not encourageable. Don't encourage that.
I translated, it's fine.
But for my part on Heroes, going with the most recognizable, Superman for DC and Spider-Man for Marvel. Mostly because they're guys, despite the fact that they're basically on polar opposite ends of where how superheroes are regarded. Superman, hugely beloved character, hero to millions. Spider-Man, lucky if he isn't getting slandered in the latest newspaper article. And yet both of them have this strong value system and are just trying to do the right thing for the sake of it, the right thing. And everyone always tries to paint that as boring. I find it be boring in a world where everyone shared in that virtue. But unfortunately, we're in a very flawed world, and these are two guys trying to do the right thing, not in ignorance of the way the world is, but really committing because of the way the world is. If so many things are going wrong, I have to try and do good. And that's it. And that takes far greater commitment than the words imply.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can totally see that. I think for me, the reason why I prefer, like, Sailor Moon to Superman is actually because, not that he's boring. I wouldn't say he's boring. He's just very perfect, and that's fine. That's for his purposes. But I think for me, it's not as relatable as here's a character who, is clumsy and it does really badly in school and stuff like that. Is not perfect. Is far from perfect. But because of her compassion, she's the most important person in the galaxy, and that's why she actually reminds me of Donna Noble.
Oh, Donna Noble, my favorite companion.
She's best companion, and she's best companion because she reminds me of Sailor Moon. Weird to say.
Oh, drink. I'm just seeing the chat on Twitch. Tricky buddy, you invoked her.
Don't challenge me, sir.
Uh-oh, Trinary is warning me, if you talk about the Balrog's wings in a Lord of the Rings area, you will apparently cause a different kind of hellfire.
But
I didn't.
Yeah, it's a bit of a thing because I think whether or not he has wings in the book is debatable. In the movie, he seems to have them, but he doesn't use them. But they're there, but he doesn't use them. And then, but in the books, whether or not he has wings is more metaphorical, like the smoke billowed around him like wings. And it's sort of like, well, were they actually functional wings? Or was it just, that's how it was, that's just how they formed and they didn't actually function as wings. So, yeah, it's a whole thing.
Well, honestly, I feel like that's a very obvious answer. Everyone knows you're not allowed to smoke on a flight.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, he's shown to have wings in the Peter Jackson film, but then his folly is he falls down a cliff.
His folly?
His folly. I'm going to pretend that was intentional.
Yes, always own the pun. When someone says pun, no pun intended, liar! Liar! We both know.
Are the unintended ones.
You stained your soul with lies. I'm a little confused by Champ to Stay's question. Do you think Robin Williams used his script for Aladdin as a guideline for the genie, like Tabitha St. Germain did for Rarity? Well, I feel like the script is, at the very least, the inspiration, as it outlines a character. I'm sure that there's like a character Bible on hand to better understand them, but I feel like, yes, any voice actor or actress would rely on the script as at least a starting point.
Although I will say, I don't think Tabitha has as much influence on MLP as Robin Williams had on Aladdin. Robin Williams improvised during his recordings, and that changed the course of the Aladdin film. Tabitha will improvise during her recordings, and they'll put it in there, but it's not going to change the plot line of the whole episode.
A fair point. I still hope that whole Yak-tastrophe line was not improvised. Just like, why would you say that? It's someday when I get back to reviewing the episodes, but I am hoping that with the this is answering an earlier question about how the Griffs Galore video is coming along. I am closing in on the final scenes. I just need a few more graphics, create some credits, and then get music. Music is important. So I'm in the final stages. It's so close, and I want to have it done before the end of September. But September's only 30 days. Let's see here. Just looking through some comments. Oh, actually, funny thing that I didn't get to talk about in the Griffs video that ties in kind of with the Balrog. Some myths about griffins state that only the females had wings. That there are, in fact, statues of male griffins without wings. And funny enough, I flash back to the Dark Crystal.
I mean, it makes sense.
It's like, I don't have wings. Of course you don't. You're a boy.
Yes, it's kind of like I traumatize Tyandaga. Back when he was a caribou, apparently he transitioned to a white-tailed deer. But I used to make fun of him because during the winter, intact male caribou shed their antlers. So, like, the implication that he still had his antlers during Christmas was like, oh, you're either a girl or, you know, and of course he was traumatized by either insinuation. But it's fun. Like, the stereotype sometimes isn't always the male stereotype.
Oh, so what we have here is a case of the sweetie troll.
It happens.
Yeah. And I will not fight it. Embrace the trollishness. Give in to your trollishness.
To be fair, actually answering, I think some questions I saw earlier. Who got into shipping first? It's a very existential question, but in a way, I think it was me, but in the sense that, you know, I was doing shipping, and I feel like there was a time where you witnessed I shipped someone, and I did it in a trolling capacity, and you're like, oh, I need to get in on this.
That's right. I can't
to make it.
I can't quite remember who was the subject of yon trolling. But
I don't remember either.
But yes, it was glorious, and a whole new world. A whole new world. It opened up when I saw the trolling ways of shipping. Now, I'm a sucker for romance. I love if it's a really good couple. And here's the thing. A lot of the media I see, especially in movies where they try to have a couple, usually it's just sort of the obligatory, oh, a male protagonist, a female protagonist, they're gonna hook up. And I don't like that. I feel like, wow, these characters have zero chemistry, or they argue all the time and can't seem to stand each other. And especially in anime, when a girl beats up a guy, I don't think, wow, she must really like him. In fact, I kind of find that messed up.
Oh, come on. You know that's the core between you and Bliss's ship.
But our ship is mutually assured destruction. We are on the highway. We are on the highway to a rainbow-colored afterlife. But I'll get there first because she'll destroy me. I'm on a highway to hell. That's enough of that. Honestly, I'm expecting someone to quote either Team 4-Star or Vegeta or Death Battle. No, none of that. Shame on you.
Shame on you. Yeah, no, that would be Team 4-Star for me when I quote that.
Yes, and me. I mean, I'm pretty sure Death Battle stole that idea.
Probably.
Which I guess you've reached meme status when really a large audience video is quoting you.
Yes.
Oh wow! I have all the power now. See, just keeps going.
Hey, sorry. I do want to answer a question I realize was answered a few times, and I appreciate, someone trying to take a bat for me, but it's okay. Someone's asking me if I missed Brony D&D. I really should have left earlier than I did, frankly. There are parts of it that I miss, but I miss it in the way that one might miss one's childhood. Like, it was fun times, but you don't necessarily want to go back and relive it. So, yeah, sort of, is my answer to that question. Sorry, I just want to get that out of the way.
Oh, no, appreciate it. I'm going to answer a question Komotra has been asking. Do I have a bounty for mooning Queen Nova? No, I have a booty for mooning Queen Nova. There's a bounty and there's a booty.
Very nice booty.
Booty. She got booty blind. But really, at this point, I feel like I have enough. My character should have enough criminal warrants to warrant an entire prison wing of just himself.
Probably.
Oh, but see, it doesn't work. You have no shame. It's true, Trinary. I have no shame. Oh, lightning Lightning Bliss is in the chat. Hello, Blissy.
Oh, hey, Bliss. Here to see your waifu.
Sorry, Horse Bondo. Thank you.
Waifu is a gender-neutral term.
Really? I've always heard it broken down into waifu and husbando.
Normal people do it that way. I, however, do not fall into the, if I can be a brony while not being a bro, then you can be a waifu without being a wife.
There you go. I will accept this. Also, I will continue to ship Lightning Bliss randomly.
Yes. I'm sorry, Bliss. I didn't see you. You blended in all of your colors. There are a lot of rainbows going on. You'll notice there's rainbow hooves in there too.
Yes, I find it wonderful that Rainbow Hooves and Lightning Bliss posted right next to one another.
Yes, I ship that. See, shipping Lightning Bliss with rainbows. Come on now, that's perfect. Oh, Bliss confirms she has a crush on Silver. Yay!
Oh, yes! Oh, Blissy confirms the ship. Oh.
Yay!
Don't you want this, Blissy?
The ship is all the stronger.
Rainbows make me smile.
I ship that too. There we go. We can have a OT3. It's fine.
Although, while I have not played TF2, I have thoroughly enjoyed the Source Filmmaker videos people put out there. And one of my favorites is called Fire Hazard, which is basically the spy dealing with the pyro and trying to thwart the pyro. So, while he's being chased on fire from said pyro, you flash the pyro vision, and he's like, rainbows make me... Flashback to reality. Ah! He's on fire. And then, so from the pyro's point of view, he's blowing bubbles. Reality is far crueler.
I don't know what he's breathing in that mask, but he needs to share.
Oh, now, Blissy, I'm afraid I've got to go grammar now. So you say no lies, slander and lies. Oh, wait, no. No, you are... I'd rescind what I said. I understand. No lies. But I kind of want a comma there. No, comma, lies, slander and lies.
No lies. No lies at all. It is not a lie.
Lie, lie.
Beautiful ship.
Lie, 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 lie.
Board the ship, Ripple. Board the ship.
Board it. You will not get bored on this ship. So I do believe that... Oh, now, Ian Absol, bring it up, man time. No, that's a fear ship right there. Because even fear is a kind of attractant.
It's true.
Hate is a kind of attractant.
Apparently.
I'm quoting Terry Pratchett on this one. Discworld. Oh, Bliss, this ship is unsinkable. And I know that's what they said about the Titanic, but, well, the Titanic wasn't based on feels.
It's true.
Or
there's too much fodder.
Or rainbow anger, for that matter. Okay. Rainbow anger, as I call it, Ranger.
You only board cannon ships, Ripple? That must be a very limited pool you're dealing with. That's no fun.
Yes, I mean... Okay, I'll be honest. We ended Friendship is Magic with more ships than I thought would be present, but yes. It's a very limited sampling. I need diversity. I like a ship that makes you wonder, how would these two characters get together? And then you create scenarios where they would get together, and it's fun. And that's the thing. I do not care. I stopped caring about whether the show authenticated my ships a long time ago. I just ask, would this be fun to watch? Unfold, to happen? Would this challenge the characters to grow, to be more? That's, in my criteria, the real goal of a ship. To have the characters grow.
Very true.
Yee.
Very, very true, yes. That if they can, help each other grow, then it's like, perfect ship right there. 10 out of 10. Now, of course, then there are the destructive ships, which are fun too, like Bliss and Silver.
And, I don't know if I should tell Bliss this, but I will.
Oh?
Drinking Buddy has taken a clip on Twitch where Lightning Bliss confirms the ship. It has now been immortalized.
It's too late, Bliss.
And yes, Clay Pigeon.
Can't escape it.
Yes, Clay Pigeon, I misspoke, but now I'm a Rancor Ranger. I'm a Mighty Morphin Rancor Ranger. And Enderpup speaks true. I am doomed. Doomed!
Yeah, Doom flag.
Oh.
Wave the Doom flag.
Now, on Twitch, the Doctor 4554. Did you see the death battle of Sailor Galaxia versus Beerus? I have not yet seen that. I should.
Neither have I, I'm afraid. I don't watch a lot of Death Battle, I'm afraid.
By a similar notion, I'm sorry to say that I have not read novels of the High Republic. I don't know what the High Republic is. Is that like after the most recent Star Wars trilogy, they start a new Republic, so it's the High Republic? Or is it where they legalize marijuana in the Star Wars galaxy? Oh. Speedy?
Hi?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Sorry, I thought you cut out there for a sec.
Oh, I don't think so. Hi.
Okay, good. I'm glad I didn't lose you. That would make me sad. It's like I'm doing this stream and I'm talking with my friend, and oh no, she's gone. Oh, now is the Discord of our discontent.
Now you'll just have to talk to yourself. I'm sorry.
No, now I'll just have to tease Bliss with shipping jokes, and Bliss is suddenly the
You'll
best.
survive.
Suddenly, Lightning Bliss becomes the best tech support in the world as she gets Sweetie Bloom back.
There you go.
I will get you all the internets. Just make him shut up.
And then I join and I make it worse.
Sorry, Blissy. We just make everything worse. It is the way. It is the way of the shipping.
Yes.
And we've earned a re. Although Rainbow Hooves, if I'm afraid if you're invoking Power Rangers, I'll double you a Sentai. There is actually a Rainbow Ranger, technically, but it is from the second Sentai in history, and he was called Big One. He was this dude. He was mostly white, but he had a rainbow motif through his helmet and mane, and he was one hell of a trickster. I mean, he's the kind of guy, villain would grab him by the arm would pop up. It wasn't just a fake arm, it was a bomb. So, take from that what you will. But, yes, I would argue there has been at least one Rainbow Ranger. Oh. And I'm assuming from Olivia Glanville and Ripple Effect, I don't know if that's what and A were for a Rainbow Ranger. But,
honey, there's a lot of questions going on.
Truthfully, I say enough weird things that should be commonplace.
I know. I'm like, at what are you referring this time?
I should also state, unfortunately, when I did my test stream last night, there was a very significant lag. I sound like a video gamer. Lag! So I don't know if they're asking about the Rainbow Ranger, but no. I shouldn't say do a search for Big One on the internet. That will turn up bad things, I'm sure.
No.
Instead, what was this Super Sentai series? I think it was called Jack Q. Super Sentai JAKQ for Jack. Do a search for JAKQ Super Sentai, and you will see this team and its rainbow-themed ranger. Let's see here. Oh, this prompted the question, what is my favorite Super Sentai season? Say that 3 times fast. Here's the thing, y'all. Some of you may have seen Power Rangers Super Mega Force. Pirate Sentai Gokaiger, its origin, is infinitely superior. in my eyes, and I can say it with, and there's one way I can prove that right away, immediately. Pardon me while I go grab some clouds from another vector piece. Everyone knows, I'm sure one of the big selling points for Super Mega Force was the legendary battle. That battle is the opening to Gokaiger. The climax of Super Mega Force is just the opening act for Gokaiger. That alone should be a testament to the difference between them. It's like, yeah, hold my beer. I've got a whole other season to work with. But Gokaiger, how to describe this? A group of pirates are looking for the ultimate treasure in the universe, which is, of course, on Earth. But to acquire it, they must unlock the legendary powers of all the Super Sentai. That's 30 generations, or iterations, I should say. And so they meet at least one representative of each Super Sentai from that time frame. But the show never forgets who the main characters are. And I love the characters, especially the Green Ranger. In this case, my love of all things blue did not win out. Doc, Don DeGoya Doc, is the most awkward and seemingly ill-suited to be a Super Sentai member. But that's what makes him so wonderful and why he triumphs. I'm a sucker. It's the same with Sailor Mercury as it was for Fluttershy, as it is for Doc. I'm a sucker for when a character is trying their best, but is even facing more from their own self-sabotage than the external conflict. I find such things wonderfully endearing because, to be honest, I think it reflects very much on our own lives. Okay, now Restream is saying, I've reached 1,000 messages today with the chat. Impressive, everyone. I am amazed. And again,
excellent job.
Again, humbled. Oh, but Starbolt 86, you're hitting me where it hurts. Starbolt asks of Digimon, Tai and Sora or Matt and Sora? I was a Tai and Sora fan.
Tai Sora all the way.
Tai Sora all the... I don't resent Matt and Sora. I understand that is how 02 ended. It does not mean that I agree with it. Or that I was like, wait, what? Why is he an astronaut? But I accept it. And congratulations to all the Matt and Sora fans, but I will always be a Tai and Sora fan myself.
Absolutely.
Myself. Why did he become an astronaut, though? I feel that this is not a false question. How did he go from having a band to wanting to be an astronaut? Anyway. Now, I'm reaching a time for what I consider to be a golden moment. Something haven't gotten to do before, and so I'm eager to show people this trick. So we're going to do a few things real quick. Sweetie, I don't mean to ignore, but I just want to talk people through this.
I don't know.
All right, so as y'all can see, I've drawn Soren. Oh God, I just committed a faux pas. I said, as we all know, as you can see. Next I'm going to have really bad exposition. Wait, I am about to exposit. Wow, this is meta. Anyway.
Yep.
Anyway, Soren here. I'm going to paste this into a new document. Let's go with a web preset. Make it inches because I can't measure in pixels. And high resolution. Gosh, I don't even know if people can see as this new window pops up. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because I want this to be high resolution. Object, artboards, fit to selected art. Ba-boom. And now I will export this. Excuse me. And I will save this with the other work. Patreon projects. Red Pad. Oh, Shame on me. It's not rouge palette, it's red palette. Ah.
You're going all French on us.
Well, we be. Escargot. Oh, vicious stereotype, and I'm not even quoting the spy. Side note, when I enjoy those SFM or even Gary's mod videos, hearing the spy snort so much, I don't get tired of it. All right, but now we're going to change things up. If I go from Restream, and if I go... All right, here is the test. Can I go to my Photoshop? Yes. You are now... I may not look very different, but we're in the Photoshop. Now, here's a little trick to Photoshop. It's over here in the history folder. Or the history window. I'm going to set this art brush to open. This is called the history brush, actually. So, what am I doing? Watch this. I'm going to make Soren disappear. Oh, bobbity boo. Now, where in this whole mess is the art history brush? The art history brush, usually, using this reference point, I could draw Soren again. Although, man, this is kind of messed up. I don't know what settings this brush is. But basically, it's you can draw. But that is not my goal. No, no. I need to load a brush preset. So, where's my window? Brushes. And I need to load, get more brushes. Oh, no, that opens up Adobe. Don't want that. Let's see, I haven't used Photoshop in a while, so even just loading. Import brushes, there we are. And I lucked out on this. How do I describe this? Oh, you can't. I'm afraid you can't see. Someone on DeviantArt uploaded a set of Vincent van Gogh style brushes. They're presets that that you can load into Photoshop. If the darn thing will load, I know I searched it out earlier. But basically, it allows you to emulate a style of a Vincent van Gogh painting. I've heard in Doctor Who it was Van Gogh. But I'm afraid I'll just spit all over.
There's so many different ways. There's Gogh, there's Gogh, there's Goth, there's so many different ways of pronouncing his last name.
Okay, here we go. I don't know why, but somehow my Finder is faster than Photoshop. Then again, I mean, it's in the name, Finder. Teehee.
It's a Hufflepuff.
It's a Hufflepuff. Oh, a Hufflepuff, the one house that no one truly respects, but they're awesome.
Puffs are awesome.
That's right. Puff up the jam, puff it up. Now, let's see here. Is this... I loaded the brushes, but I don't know if I've truly captured them. Here we are. Alrighty. So what I'm doing here is basically we're redrawing the image based on this history point. Great moments in history. And right now it just looks like a scattering of brush strokes. It doesn't look all that great. But truthfully, we're just building it up. And believe it or not, this can actually be very common. You can kind of see Soren starting to take shape. But because of the color variance of these Van Gogh brushes, it's not going to be just flat, straight up, you know, a one-to-one. Van Gogh was exceptional as an artist for color and vividness. I'm not an art history major, and so I feel I can't do him proper justice. But he is renowned for his mastery of color and his experimentation with it. And that is what I seek to accomplish here. But I am nowhere near the painter, so you kind of learn tricks. Sometimes art isn't about being the most skilled, but knowing technique. And the truth is that as I shrink the size of the brush, I can get into better detail, and you start to see Soren shining through a bit more. See, if I shrink it down, that eye is starting to really come into focus. I discovered this when I was getting an associate's degree in graphic design, and so I'm going to say that, yes, I have permission from my teachers to cheat.
I mean, I don't think it's cheating. I think it's using your resources. There's a difference.
Although, I'll tell you guys true. Here's the grand irony. I'm not very physical. I'm not athletic. But one of the best teachers I ever had was a PE teacher. He was just one of the finest human beings you'd ever met. Another of my tops was a math teacher. Sadly, he's no longer with us. But one of the worst teachers I ever had was a web developer instructor. He basically, if you weren't worth squat unless you were already a skilled graphic designer. I think he was impatient with the idea of teaching, which made me wonder why he was a teacher.
Yeah.
But he basically turned me off. I thought, wow, if this is what the industry produces, I want no part of it. Plus, while the associate's degree was technically graphic and web design, it really didn't offer enough for web design. So, that's a stinker. But, I feel bad. There's nothing to kill a future like a bad teacher. So I dearly hope everyone has had at least one teacher that gave them encouragement to believe in their future. And if you only had teachers that discouraged that, one, I'm so sorry, two, shame on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see here. I feel like these brushes need more diversification. Maybe a bit shape dynamics, angle jitter, rotation. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting nice and crazy. See, this looks a bit more energetic in my eyes.
Yeah.
Let's really get some definition going here. So, Komodo Steel wondering if I've watched the TF2 series Team Neighborhood. I watched it a good while ago. Remember the driving test with all the TF2 characters. Haven't watched it lately. What is it? SF Black SF and his very odd, and also Purple Lazy and How It Feels. I rewatched those. I mean, here's a simple truth, everybody. A lot of the YouTube content I used to enjoy was review videos, but they've gotten so negative and so hyperbolic that it's actually losing its appeal. Purple Lazy, especially when I'm saying this in a positive way, Lazy speaks so lovingly and enjoys what he does and how much he enjoys TF2. It's refreshing. It's wonderful. And so I can't get enough of his videos. I eagerly await. I think he's at the tail end of his How It Feels to Play X character. But I so look forward to them. And I don't know how it feels to play the medic will go. Medic is probably well, maybe not thankless, but it's probably one of the harder classes to play. Because so much depends on you. And yet people might not always understand their responsibility to said medic. Uh-oh. Oh, no, this is just sickening. Bliss, I'm so sorry. Apparently a teacher stole portfolio reels to put into her own. That's criminal.
Yeah,
I mean,
quite literally.
No, that oh God. I mean, not only is that just personally dishonest, but it's a shameful reflection on the industry. When a teacher does this, I mean, I don't even understand how they could justify that. Oh, this is how I taught my students to act? No. No. Does the school, has the school learned of this? Can they take any action against it? Oh, in the meantime, as I'm getting outraged, it would be good to have a fun question. Sweetie, favorite Disney song?
Must you make me choose between my children?
I must, because you know what, we love our childrens for various things. But in various situations.
Yeah, so like I think it'd be easier for me to choose a favorite Disney song in the sense of like in a certain role. Like for instance, my favorite Disney love song would actually be Love from Robin Hood.
Ah.
Favorite villain song would be Prepared, things like that. But then if I were to compare, Love and Be Prepared, I can't. They're apples and oranges. I can't say which one I like better because they have such varying roles in the narrative. So, yeah.
But are they apples together? Apples forever?
Quite you.
They're family, but so much more. Yeah. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with pony gas. Oh my. Oh, 2009 and 10.
It strikes me that was 10 years ago. It feels like it was yesterday.
But the school was filing for criminal activity. The teacher obviously fired, so I'm not going to say that's full justice, but at least it is some manner of consequence for immoral and selfish action. Okay, I need to add a little bit more color variance. Huge, maybe just a little. Maybe a little bit more. I want to make this... Yeah, now we're talking.
Okay, someone's asking me what my favorite I Want song. That's a much better question. I may have to think on that.
Let's see here. I'm just thinking... I Want to Be Where the People Are. I Want Adventure in the Great Wide Somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... Well, a lot of Disney movies have a I Want song, Hercules had one, the Snow White had one, Aurora, Sleeping Beauty had one. I don't think Cinderella actually had one, now that I think about it. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of I Want songs in Disney. Off the top of my head... I mean, I really liked Bells, but I really didn't like that it was never answered. I think it's reprise, the Belle reprise, where she mentions, it's like you say, I want adventure in the Great Wide Somewhere. I like that, but it's never answered within the film. And it's one of my pet peeves about Beauty and the Beast. It's I want adventure in the Great Wide Somewhere. I wanted more than I can tell, and for once it might be grand to have someone understand. I want so much more than they've got planned. And they really don't capitalize on that. She wants adventure in the Great Wide Somewhere. Well, literally right after she says that, in comes Philippe with the plot. Right after that song. So I guess checkmate on that one. And then she wants someone who will understand her. And that, I think, was something that was missing from the Belle and Beast ship. They were trying to push it as romantic, but at no point in the original cut of the animated film did they understand each other. Like, did they feel like there was a moment where, I understand what you're going through? So while I really like that I Want, it's not utilized well enough in the film, I think. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one.
Although I can't say I agree with people who try to portray their relationship as Stockholm. I feel like that's trying to...
I don't think it was Stockholm. I just feel like, for me, like, watching it, I can see it, okay, she hates him. Okay, that turned into friendship. When did it go into romance, And this was something that was fixed in the Broadway version the best, I think. But in what we're given, I'm sort of like, yeah, no, okay. So he is verbally abusive and borderline physically abusive.
Mm-hmm.
But he tries to be better. Okay, but what does she do? Uh-oh, someone's doing a clip about phrasing?
Phrasing? Uh-oh.
Right, I wondered. Apparently we made an innuendo.
Well, about Stockholm? I don't know.
Not sure.
Well, either way. I don't know. I guess I get frustrated. I don't mean to say you were implying Stockholm or anything like that. It's just lately it seems like whenever Beauty and the Beast comes up, that interpretation finds its way, and sometimes I worry we're trying too hard to stigmatize a story.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like I like, it's one of those things when I mentioned that Beauty and the Beast, because a lot of people my age, what's your favorite Disney romance? Oh, Beauty and the Beast. It's not mine. I'm like, no, not a huge fan. I will fully admit Beauty and the Beast is an amazing film. Like, it's an amazing film. I'm not going to say it's not. There's a reason why it is, to this day, the only animated feature ever nominated for Best Picture. You know, it was an amazing film. There were just parts in it I didn't like. And it usually had to do with basically a lack of character arc for Belle. This is really my thing. But it doesn't have to do with Stockholm. Just, I was the nerd who read the adventure books, who wanted to have the adventures in the adventure books. And so having a heroine who had the same thing, had the same wants and needs. And then it's like, okay, Belle, yes, you're right. It's so hard reading these adventure stories and living a normal life. How do you cope, Belle? Well, luckily, I'm a Disney princess, so everything worked out for me. Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Dude, people are bringing up the Disney remakes. I never saw the Beauty and the Beast remake. I would for a minute there when you said, "Oh, that was fixed by," it's like, is she gonna say the Disney remake? The Broadway show?
No, the Broadway show. The Broadway show fixed. Yeah, it fixed both of the issues I have with the film were fixed in the Broadway production. One was that, like, again, she's just like, I want adventure. Oh, look, adventure! Yay! But in the Broadway, they had a song called Home, where she sort of reflects, like, basically goes, GG, Belle. You wanted adventure. You wanted to be away from the provincial town. Well, good job. You now have lost your father and your freedom. GG. Here's your adventure, dingus. Why couldn't you be happy with where you were? Secondarily, again, with understanding each other, there is a moment where the Beast and Belle have a kind of bond over being weird, that Belle reads to him. She reads one of her favorite stories to him, and he gets all excited. He's like, wow, I never knew that books could make you forget what you are. And that was something that Belle could understand, and they understood each other. I'm like, there we go. That's what I wanted. That's all I wanted, movie. That's all I wanted.
Well, there you go. Now that's her. I wanted.
Yes, I just wanted them to understand each other, because that's my favorite thing. That's why I am a fan of similarities attract. I know you're not, but one of my favorite things of ships is when two people understand each other, and that's what brings them closer together.
I get you. Well, here's the funny thing. I, too, am a fan of when characters come to understand one another, when they maybe gain that connection. But I feel that moment is enhanced through opposites. That just because they have different viewpoints, they still find that commonality. Sweetie and I come from two different schools of thought on this particular aspect of shipping. But, at the end of the day, we both just really like it.
Yeah, and I like it in both ways. And there are times when they're too similar where I'm like, no, I can't get invested, because I don't feel like, because like you were saying earlier, I also like when two characters can help each other grow. So if the similarities are too much and I feel like, okay, well, they're not actually helping each other, then it's like, okay, I don't really ship that, because they're similar. They're not offering each other anything. Whereas on the other end, when it's opposites attract and I have a hard time seeing a common ground, then that can be bad too. But I can also see opposites attract where it works out very, very well. it honestly depends more on how it's executed than anything else.
There was an earlier question about what I thought of Ranma One Half. And this actually
Oh.
ties into what we're talking about. Ranma One Half, Akane and Ranma, they, funny enough, when Ranma switches to a girl's body, he's under this curse. Cold water will make his body female. Hot water, he returns to a male. He was born male but fell in a cursed pond. They actually bond better when they're females, when there's not a competition or hostility between them, I guess. My problem with Ranma One Half, it is a comedy, it is a romance, but they always just seem to reset. It's like, well, it's the same complaint I have of Inuyasha. Any progress they make, any moment of connection is forgotten by the next episode, and they're right back to comically antagonistic. And after a while, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, that's fun to watch for a little while, but after time, you're like, yeah, no, I really appreciate it if these characters committed to the next phase. It works for a little while, but you can't do it forever.
I fully agree in both animes. Like that was what made me walk away from Inuyasha. Is like I really got invested in the ship at first, and then it's just like it's not going anywhere, is it? Like,
I mean,
or it took too long. It finally did go somewhere at the end, but my goodness, how many years did we have to endure of that nonsense before they finally actually got together?
not to mention those moments where it's like, you two are maybe a little too mad at each other. This isn't funny anymore.
Yeah, it's like it was one of those things that was funny at first, and then you're like, okay, guys, knock it off. It's like at this point you've made out several times. Why are you acting like you don't like each other?
Or reviewer I enjoy watching, Bennett the Sage. He does a lot of anime reviews. He pointed out that apparently in a movie of Inuyasha, the sit boy hex got taken off, and and like Kagome says that doesn't matter. I trust Inuyasha now, but by movie's end, she puts it right back on him, just for funsies. It's like, wow, that completely undoes what you just asserted. If anything, it seems kind of cruel.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, that was the one thing of growth in their character. I did notice that she did use the sit command less as the anime went on, but like that wasn't enough. It's like, okay, that's something, but still.
Now, Trinary raises a good point in the comments. Usually, when there's a critique of repetition, like with Fluttershy, and her, she learns the same lesson: be confident, believe in yourself, so on and so forth. Yeah. Usually, I defend that. Yeah, you don't learn all that on one go. You have to revisit it. So, how is it different with, say, the romance of Inuyasha and Kagome, or Ranma and Akane? Seems kind of similar. I'd argue that with romance, forging an emotional connection, you don't have to be your one true love right away. But you're suddenly viewing the other person. I think, in a weird way, our relations with other people change faster than our own behavior. I think sometimes that's why we're often playing catch up with our own relationships. A relationship asks us to grow, and maybe there's some resistance to our growth. But our interactions with other people can change even faster. So,
yeah, that's true.
So I appreciate you pointing out the dissonance, and perhaps that requires even further thought. But I think it's because it's an interaction between two individuals rather than the internal struggle of one that repetition can become more grating in that case.
Where I think the repetition would make more sense is if someone, because in the sense that the reason why the whole baby steps thing kind of works with Fluttershy, or I think it works, is that she's trying to teach herself out of a habit. It doesn't quite work that way with romance unless you're trying to say that what they're trying to do is not like each other, then I can see that kind of going back and forth. If they're trying to, oh, they're wrong for me, so I have to not like them or something. But it's more like they discover they like each other and then they don't, and it's like, no, that doesn't go away when you make that discovery, and it's hard to make that discovery, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite as, oh, I have to learn it. You just sort of have to acknowledge it. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yes, it does, and you have to explore it because there's no rule book or what's the best phrase? There's no diagram for how to pursue a relationship. Everyone finds their own way, and there's sometimes some trial and error. And honestly, I would say it as a shipping fan, sometimes watching them try to figure it out is the most fun. One of my favorite examples. What was it? 2000 and no, it must have been much earlier. 2001, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You're on your own on that one.
It was basically a more true to the original comic Ninja Turtles, which was unexpected. In that, Casey and April develop a relationship throughout the entire course of the course of the story, and that's been hinted at a lot of versions, but this one I think did it best. And my favorite scene is that Casey is this rough and tumble guy, gets in fights, likes brutish activity, but he shows up to April's dressed in the suit because he thinks they're going to this fancy restaurant that she likes. She's dressed as pretty much a biker girl because she thought they were going to a bar that he likes that usually features a bit of a brawl. The fact that they were both willing to do that, be so far outside their comfort zone, was just endearing. And that's something
Absolutely.
that they didn't do right away. It took some doing. So, here I am. I'm harping about shipping.
Shock and dismay. No, I fully agree. The whole compromise, that's also something that I really like in shipping too. So yes, I can see that.
Let's see here. Now, I think it was Komodra who asked, is there a story behind this piece that I'm working on? And there is. I feel I should explain it. Red Palette was one of my Patreon supporters. I don't think she is anymore. And she supported me that I wanted to do an art piece. I put together her OC. She actually uses the base OC that I put together on her webpage. But I asked her at Crystal Mountain PonyCon, where I got to see her in person, who's your favorite pony? And she said Soren. But then when I saw her again at Crystal Mountain a little while later, and she's like, wait, you still remember that? That was like 2 years ago. So, here's the thing about me, guys. I'm slow to honor my promises, but I don't forget them. And that's part of what makes me so uncomfortable when I leave people waiting for so long. This is a fulfillment of a
makes you endearing,
long overdue promise. It also makes me aggravating. But to make a long story short, too late, she told me that now one of her favorite characters was Pharynx. And believe me, I was charmed by him, so I totally get why. So
ship it.
I thought, wouldn't it be funny if she was doing a painting of Soren, but she got Pharynx to model as the Soren stand-in? Because changelings would make awesome models and actors and actresses. Ergo, this is how I came up with this. Now, I wonder... So, that's the long and the short of it. I don't know if she's even in the... I don't know if she's in the stream. I don't think so. I don't think she's even aware. I'm hoping this can be a fun surprise. Trinary is asking, does this level of Patreon reward still exist? It does. I've seriously considered how I should revise my Patreon reward tiers. Keyframe at Everfree Northwest said, don't offer art as a reward. it it fills up your queue. It's true, but at the same time, guys, I am not a person who can run a Discord server or engage with people on the social level that a lot of people can do more skillfully. Art is what, when I started, I realized that art was one of the things I had to offer this fandom. And so I'm doing my best to pursue that. Now, what I'm doing here is there's a golden mean, and I figure I can tweak the layout and improve maybe the visual harmony if I try to follow this golden mean. You know what I mean? Oh, excuse me. But I feel like this spiral, if, say, Pharynx Soren hybrid was at the top of the spear, maybe, I feel like, and then we just
I'll...
Yip, 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 boop. Now we're cooking with gas. Yep.
Impressive.
Well, again, it's utilizing resources as they're available, but based on the knowledge of far, far greater artists. And in this case, I believe it was Roman who determined the golden mean. What is it? It's called the golden mean, the Fibonacci sequence.
Mm-hmm.
All manner of things. Komodo steel. Silver is an elephant, I never forget. Plus my view is somewhat truncated.
Ooh.
Thank you. And that was Rusty Helm who was asking about the history of this art piece. I'm sorry. I think I misinterpreted. Champ to stay. Ned and Edna or Skinner and Edna of The Simpsons. Champ, I must confess that by the time Edna and Ned somehow got married, I had fallen out of love with Simpsons. I hadn't really watched in a long time. For me, Edna and Skinner were an item for such a long time. I was honestly a little sorry that they broke up.
Legit didn't even know that Edna and Ned got together.
Until Edna's voice actress died,
Oh, that's right.
They were married. And given that
Wow, Ned has terrible luck with that.
Yes, I mean, I forget. Maud Flanders, didn't her voice actress also die?
Her voice actress died, so they killed off the character.
Oh, wow. And then, wow, that's just...
So, basically, voice actresses, if you ever get a chance to voice Ned's wife, don't do it.
Honestly, I'm flashing back to the importance of being earnest. One loss implies tragedy. Two implies carelessness. Just like, wow, really?
Yes. It's like twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. The third wife goes, we're like, serious.
Oh, yes, Hydro Cannon. So is it really Soren in the Pinkie Pie Says Goodnight comic? Yes, it is. And there was a question earlier asking why I don't like Soren in the comic. Folks, I actually really do like Soren. I realize that in the Pinkie Pie comics, I'm giving him quite the hard time. But that's because I find humor is often based on pain. And Soren, well, he's had some hard knocks in the show. I think he's one of the best to endure, which will mean that when things start to go right for him, it'll be all the more positive. It is certainly not my intent to simply harp on the character for mindless cruelty, and certainly not for bashing. I actually just like it when people harp on a character or try to popularize their dislike, because I just think, you know what, this serves nobody. You're going on about something.
Threw him off with a cannonball.
Threw him off with a what?
Gosh, I'm trying to think of the term. I'm blanking. Never mind. Continue.
Oh no. Basically, I find nothing is improved when you share your hate on stuff. It's when you celebrate the positivity, or you call attention to it. Even when you're combating something you dislike, citing the positive is going to net you a better influence and lasting results. Whereas I feel like we've grown numb to negativity. We can complain about all the things that are wrong all day. Case in point, I'm looking at the screenshots I've been using. Oh, there it is. For a minute there, I was going to criticize that that at least this easel didn't have a support leg in the back. I think it's just covered up. Right now, my easel does not.
Yeah, I was like, now that you mention it.
Now, I will say that this here, this table's missing a leg. I'm not crazy.
Okay.
I'm not crazy on this. I don't see a fourth leg.
Maybe it's behind the other one?
This artist hasn't a leg to stand on. I am funny. Well, to Big Boss, asking about Pinkie Pie fans who... Actually, I think it'd be sort of the opposite. There are folks who don't enjoy Pinkie. Fair enough. Believe me, they've given plenty... There are plenty of reasons that you can talk about. In fact, when, my Patreons voted that the next video I do after Griff's Galore would be a look at Pinkie Pie and her archetype. The joke, the fool, the jester. The moments where Pinkie Pie is very unaware are moments where it's very hard to like her, because you see her energy being used more towards selfishness. But people who understandably don't like these moments, they also like to harp on it in the hopes, I think, of riling up Pinkie Pie fans, which then causes the Pinkie fans to rage and flame, and it's a cheap, trollish entertainment. So, honestly, I think it's a fault on both ends. You don't like Pinkie, fair enough. But why do you feel the need to devote so much energy to talking about why she doesn't work? Do you know a comedy-based character who did a better job? You know, was there a show that who did a Pinkie Pie-esque character better than Pinkie? Or is there just a better mode of a comedy character? Olaf, of all things. I thought he was a much better comedic character than I thought he would be.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
that had a lot to do with how the voice actor portrayed him, too.
Very much. At the same time, there have been other comedy characters who I think were far worse than Pinkie. Because they were funny they were trying to be funny without any character heart. And so, therefore. So, basically, not liking something is natural. And you have the full freedom to express that. I never want to discourage you from voicing your thoughts. But how much energy you pour into that dislike is an entirely separate matter. And I think that you waste a lot of energy going on about something you dislike when you can celebrate something that did it better. And so, well, there's me on my soapbox again.
He's a good soapbox. I'll ask a question that's been asked, or answer a question that's been asked several times. Why is, for me, why is your super form in TF2 green and not blue or pink? It is pink. The only part that's green is the front bow. The idea is I'm basically very shamelessly copy and pasting Super Sailor's Chibi Moon's Fuku, excepting that her front bow is red and I made mine green to match my Cutie mark. So, but the rest of it is pink. It's very pink. It's got pink bows, and the skirt is like white that goes into yellow and then pink, like it does in the show. So, yeah, no, the main color is pink. Green is just the secondary color.
Let's see. Actually, can I tell you all a story? It involves Sweetie Bloom's Cutie mark. And a moment of absolute dread for me.
Oh, dear.
This was, let's see, I believe this was BabsCon. Was it 2018?
2018 if you're talking about the plush, yeah.
Yes. Okay, good.
Not that I have that date cemented in my head or anything.
Well, here's the thing. I commissioned this plush, and it was beautifully done. But after I sent the references, I was like, wait, what color Cutie was her Cutie mark again? And I look, and some images I find she's got black paw prints, and some images I find she's got green. And I'm like, I can't ask her. That would give away the surprise. But I don't know. And so right up until the very day where we give it, I'm like, oh God, did I screw up? Did I screw up? Did I screw up? Did I screw up?
Well, to be fair, a not so subtle spy did get the answer from me. I thought it was just for an art piece, though. I didn't realize it was for frickin' plushie. But I did suspect, I was like, oh, what is it? Ship art now, you know? It's like, great, well, fine, here's my reference. But no, yeah, so the story behind the ever-changing color of my Cutie mark, basically, I always wanted it to be green. Like, from day one, I wanted it to be emerald green as a homage to my Irish heritage. The person who made my show-accurate OC did not listen to my request and made it black because he thought that looked better. And so for a long time, I was just stuck with that. And a lot of people made fan art of my character with the black paws, and I wasn't going to correct them, you know. But eventually, I got someone to make my OC the way I wanted it, with the green Cutie mark. That being said, however, a lot of people still go back to the old design, including in TF2, when even though I'd updated my OC to be more accurate to what I wanted, Lightning Bliss went back to my old OC as a reference for the TF2 vectors. And of course, by the time I realized this, she's already made the whole set of vectors, and I sure as heck wasn't going to force her to go back and redo all of that. So I just said, sure, that's fine. And so, unfortunately, that in a combination of other things makes it very confusing for people what my OC actually looks like.
So, but when the time came and she's like, oh yeah, the Cutie mark's the proper green. He's like, oh, thank you, Lord.
I could almost see the color draining from your face for a second. I was like, oh yeah, the Cutie mark color. And you're like, did I get it right? I'm like, yes, you got it right. It's fine.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Oh, I am absolved of my whoopsie.
It's all good. It was very lovely, and I very much appreciate it.
Oh,
we'll get you back one day.
I mean, no. See, we're back to the war of gifts. Okay, all right. Like with Lightning Bliss, it's the war of gifts. With Sweetie Bloom, it's the war of gifts.
With a T.
Yes, I think I'm spitting on my mic right now, trying to enunciate all this. Pit. Okay, well, now I've successfully hidden the third leg of this thing. Gee, here I am complaining about it. Now I can't get it just the right spot. Just the right spot. Alrighty. Now, the dual bonus of this is that if I draw the easels from the background ponies, I can actually have a vector set for anyone who wants to use it on DeviantArt. So, I always like it when I can both create a gift for one member of the community, but also something that can benefit, hopefully, the whole community. Is good times. But I think I've got everything I intended. Although, no, there's no violet in this paint. Well, actually, there is violet in this painting. Thank you, Van Gogh brushes. I would say one downside of they make the Cutie mark rather blurred, but then that's part of it. You can tell it's Soren, and you can tell, yes. I think this works, and I think with that I can say this is successfully completed. Yay! Yay! That's also a very satisfying feeling. And hopefully the start of a very good weekend.
It looks lovely.
Now, at some point, I'm going to have to go back and watch the clip from Nelson Demifur regarding...
apparently we made an innuendo and we missed it.
Yeah, wow. Oh, and Nora
How unlike us.
And Nora Mermaid is in the chat. I didn't see her right away. Nora, speaking of unintentional innuendos. Well, actually, you can find this by checking out our Twitter. But Nora had posted this wonderful GIF of a woman just looking absolute "I want to murder you" while dunking a tea bag, and I focused more on the tea bagging.
Like you do.
With all manner of halos. So that was a bit of fun. I jinxed myself, says Enderpup. I know not what you mean. But then I jinx myself all the time. I tempt fate like no one's business.
Uh-huh.
Sweetie Bloom can attest to this.
I can, yes.
To
say yes. Earlier, someone asked if I would be issuing the 621 rule on Silver-Quill. For the most part, I trust him to do the 621 rule on his own. There are sometimes, though, I still have to smack him over the head.
It's true. It's true. I do the thing, or sometimes I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to honor them. I try to be good. But some nights you just want to get that destiny goal, but it takes so long because it just goes on forever. Champ to Stay has been asking, Sweetie, have you seen the Cartoon Network show OKKO, Let's Be Heroes?
I have not.
Nor have I. Again, well, I'll just add that to the pile, which I'm pretty sure reaches my ceiling. If I had one DVD for every show that I need to watch, which again, Trinary helped me with The Good Place, so that's part of the goal, I don't think I'd be able to get out my front door.
So that's how it works. So I have to buy you a DVD set.
No, you stop that.
Okay.
You stop that. You stop with the thinking on that thing now.
That's how it works. Okay, done. Now I know what to get you for your birthday.
Now, Enderpup, don't be casting doom and despair on my weekend. I have just completed an art piece for a fellow fan of the show. I think I'm off to a pretty good start. Yee.
Yeah, it looks lovely.
Oh, and let's see. Maybe one or two more shipping questions. Do you ship Soren Dash?
I used to. I have since jumped on the Applejack Dash ship because sure, why not? But yeah, I used to be a Soren Dash shipper.
I'm more a Rare Jack fan myself. Now, I'll say I too was like, oh, they're both blue Pegasi, and they're both one's a Wonderbolt, one's supposed to be a Wonderbolt. But over time, I guess that's where I sort of solidified my view of opposites attract. Funny enough, I kind of like the idea of Flash Magnus in Rainbow Dash. I know that doesn't happen in the show, but again, I ship what I like. And I'm kind of intrigued. This pillar of the wild history and this modern day warrior spirit, wouldn't they be an interesting couple to see? How would you even make that work? Courting rituals alone would be an entirely different thing.
That's an interesting thing to generally address, actually, just in any of them, is like flirting back then versus flirting now. That would be funny. They should do that. Do it in the comics. It doesn't even matter which ship you're endorsing. Just have one of the pillars try to flirt and fail terribly.
Honestly, if the precedent is anything, Rockoff would probably have the hardest time.
Yeah, probably. And it'd be hilarious. Do it.
Let's see here. There was a question, do you have a favorite Pokemon ship? I enjoyed Pokemon, but the kids seemed a little too young to be playing their futures. I will say Misty and Ash, when they get older, it makes sense. In fact, I remember the manga. The manga tried to hint at that shipping a lot more than the anime, I think.
I'd never read the manga, but yeah, when I was a kid, I shipped Misty and Ash all the way. And yeah, obviously they are young. You know, when you ship young characters, I always like to stress that it's purely like emotional, and that yes, obviously they would have to grow up in order for it to become a mature romance. But I still ship it.
Lightning Dash asks, do we ship Derpy Hooves? Or
Ah,
the Muffin Mare, as we are now
the
obligated to
Muffin
call
Mare.
her.
I shipped Derpy with Doctor.
Derpy and Doctor?
Yes.
Funny enough, there are times I kind of wish that in Equestria Girls, Flash stopped trying to grovel to Sunset and was attracted to Derpy, who was always there to reassure him.
That'd be cute, I'll admit.
That would be. You know what? I might commit to that.
There you go.
Who knows?
He's committed now.
Oh, yeah, I should be. People are saying, oh, he should be committed.
Well, you're committed to a ship.
Let's see here. I think there was... Oh, yeah. I should read this just from Enderpup. I think who's still going on about my karma. Long ago, in a distant channel, I, Silver-Quill, the master of chaos and shipping, unleashed an unspeakable ship. It was called the SS Lightning Bliss and Everybody.
I mean, makes sense. I mean, like, I always ship Aeon with everybody, and she shipped with Aeon, so I guess that makes sense.
There we go. But let's see here. One last shipping question. Again, Pokemon related from Champ to Stay. Actually, two more, because I've been neglecting folks on Twitch. What about Jesse and James?
I shipped them when I was a kid. These days, I watch clips, and I'm like, I think James is gay.
And that's perfectly fine. It is... it's kind of funny. One guy I used to talk to, he viewed Pokemon as a negative because they were insisting James is gay and that he's the villain. But they're very likable characters. And I borrow from that dude in the Suede who argued very passionately that if James is indeed gay, the show is actually showing him as this spirited guy who's just trying to find his way in life. Yes, he's a villain, but he's an endearing villain. A villain who's not in it out of a desire to hurt anyone, just trying to blaze his own way in life. And thus he is.
And sorry, go ahead.
And so in a way, I feel like that, like Suede, I feel like that's a very positive representation. Honestly, because you're treating him more as a character than you are any sort of status or brand. At the same time, there is that weird, heavily censored beach episode where James has fake breasts that look real, and I'm like, what? That was weird. That was very weird.
James cross-dresses all the time.
This wasn't cross-dressing. This was...
No, I know. The inflatable boobs, I know.
Really, really convincing disguise, I must say.
I mean, whatever you're into, I won't judge.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Tempfade has it. Oh, to Pig Boss 99. Has anyone here heard of cartoon beatbox battles? I'm assuming that's some sort of rap battle between cartoon characters.
That would be my assumption, yes. But yeah, no, I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
Nor have I.
I mostly just watch Silver stuff, to be honest.
Oh, well, that's a high compliment. I am intrigued. I wouldn't mind. I can't rap for anything. I always try to rhyme with orange.
I certainly can't freestyle. I can recite the entire soundtrack of Hamilton, but I don't know if that counts.
Well, one day I will quote it alongside you. Just have to get my whole family together to see it in a socially distant viewing.
It's possible. You have no idea how much I've done socially distant viewings in my time. I have no people around me physically. It's possible to have socially distant viewings.
Excellent. Well, with this, everyone, I think I've taken enough of your time. You've invested your time in watching this stream, and I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. Time is a great gift, which is why, sweetie, thank you for taking the time to talk with me on this stream.
problem. I do want to answer one last question that was asked a few times.
Oh, sure.
What is the catchiest Disney song?
Ooh.
It's a world of wonder, a world of fears. It's a world of hopes and a world of tears. There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware. It's a small world after all. Okay, bye.
Oh, I could feel the spirit of my grandpa. It's like, not that song again. Oh. No, but he would celebrate that. Oh, okay. Enderpup is asking that I finish the story of the dark shipper lord Silver-Quill. Then a foolish wolf wielding reason stepped forth to oppose me. Before the final blow was struck, I opened a portal to the internet and flung him into the dark web. I suppose now the fool seeks to return to the offline world and undo the shipping that is inevitable. Alrighty. But yes, and to Pig Boss, if you'd like to throw up a link in the chat, please feel free. But with that, everyone, I think it's time to call it a day on this art stream and to start a weekend. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. It's just fun, take it easy, make something, or just enjoy some peace and quiet. Do you. Whatever it is you enjoy, pursue it. Because again, I'm a big fan of pursuing things you love as opposed to going about something you dislike. And I understand 2020 has given us plenty to dislike. But I like sharing my time with all of you. I like talking with Sweetie Bloom. And I like drawing the ponies. So have a good night, and I will catch you again soon. I'm